we might be hearing every morning because it is taken from Hanuman Chalisa. Like in our Vedas and in our Granths, it is said that Lord Hanuman once tried to eat the sun, and during that moment, Lord Hanuman had measured the distance between the earth and the sun, and this log represents the distance between the earth and the sun, which is proved by the modern scientists. So this is only the theme of our class, that how the present or the modern concept of the whatever we are learning in the science is all taken from the Vedas of our Sanatan Dharma.
Okay, another example of the same thing he said that here is the evolution of Darwinism. As Darwinism states that the evolution started from the fish or the aquatic animal till here. So according to Sanatan Dharma, according to the theory that from the avatar of Vishnu, we can say that the same thing is already said in our Vedas. So the first avatar is the fish avatar. It represents the aquatic animal which was least developed or the initial phase of the development. Another one is the turtle avatar. Means here the creatures were so developed so that they could survive on both on land as well as in the water also. The third one is Baraha avatar, which depicts that they were mammal, means slowly they were grown. After that there is Narasimha avatar, which depicts the humans were totally not developed, but they were in half animal position and half human being. After that slowly human transformed and they were the dwarf, which is known as the Vamana avatar. In this stage the people were in dwarf stage, means they were not fully grown but they were at least in the human form. After that comes Lord Parsuram. In this stage human beings started living in the forest as a tribal. So he is in the form that he shows that he is a tribe. He used to live in the, according to Purana, he used to live in the jungle only. After that comes a complete man, which is Lord Rama. There now the whole development was done. He was one of the greatest king. Overall thinking was developed, and so he is known as a complete man. There was a process of thought. After that the people slowly evolved and there came a Lord Krishna. In this stage people were about to think whole lot of things, means he was the one who created the whole scenario of Mahabharata. He was the one who is known as the greatest musician of all time. He was the one who is known as the greatest architecture of the all time, because he created the whole his building or whole his samrajya of that time inside the city, inside the water only. So these all proves that the base was from Sanatan Dharma, from our Grantha, from our books only, ancient books only, but the modern science has taken it as their initiative from those books.
Okay. Understanding how is a generator, let's take an example of mine. Suppose if I'm eating through my hands, right? Yeah, I'm eating through my hands, but the thoughts are being processed by my brain. It is same as like we humans, like whatever inventions we are making, we are proud that we are creating bulb, we are creating radio, and we are creating many more things. But these all thoughts are being processed by the generator, the Lord Brahma. Also, like let's take an example, like relating our modern science with the Vedic science. Let's take an example of like how we all know in Mahabharata it is said that Gandhari had 100 sons, right? So it is not even practically possible that for a woman to give birth to 100 babies. So it is believed that such babies were born through test tube, and in the present world the babies are now being given birth through test tube, and that is what the concept was taken from the Vedic science in the present world.
Okay, so another example is like everyone knows about the time dilation. In the present context we are taught about the time dilation. Time dilation, it is different, means maybe there is more, maybe there are few more years or few less years. So this time dilation concept was also given in our book, in our Vedas. So there is a story when Lord Krishna was on the earth and Lord Brahma came and he theft his friends and took in the Brahmalok, in the another dimension or in another part of the universe. And when Lord Brahma returned on the earth, he found that many of the years was already passed in the earth. This clearly signifies that there was a time dilation, means in the another lok, in Brahmalok, there was different time, and on the earth there was different time. So this concept of time dilation was already in our book, but we did not know. And today in the modern science, we are studying that it is about time dilation given by Albert Einstein.
Okay, so multiverse is now a fascinating topic. Either it's for kid or it is for Hollywood. Like many movies like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, or many movies are coming which are showing the concept of multiverse, right? But actually this multiverse concept was also taken from the Vedas. Like once what happened is there was an argument between Lord Krishna and Lord Brahma. So there was much of argument, and then suddenly Lord Krishna summoned all the Brahmas from all the different universes. And that time Lord Krishna explained Lord Brahma that you are only not the one to exist here. There are different earths and different universes like this, and in every universe there is a people like you. And the concept of multiverse also came from the Vedas only, but we are not taught about this.
Okay, now here comes the operator. Now suppose requirement of many monetary fund so that it will be working, means operation things we require. So Lord Vishnu is known as the operator, means suppose Lord Brahma created anything like human beings on the earth, then human beings require money, human beings require food, clothes, etc. for their survival on the earth. So he is that operator, he operates the whole thing. Like in different forms, like we saw, in different forms he comes on the earth and operates different scenarios, means different, we can say different, like, means things. Okay, like for example, we can see Mahabharata, Ramayana. In every yugas, he took avatar and came and he circulated the whole scenario. In Mahabharata, he was the one who created the whole scenario of Mahabharata. He was the one who was mainly involved. So he is known as the operator. There are many examples that will prove that, according to modern science, if you relate it, then this will prove that he is known as the operator. Like any of the scientists, like here is the proof. Albert Einstein, when he created the theory of relativity, he said that it was the inspiration from Bhagavad Gita only. And Bhagavad Gita is written, he is the man who wrote Bhagavad Gita. So here Bhagavad Gita was the inspiration for modern scientists also. So that is, in the present generation, we can say that is the proof that this is only the base.
Okay, so like even in class 7 and class 8 textbooks it is taught about the Dalton's theory, which says that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only change its form from one form to another. And the same thing was said by even Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that soul can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only change its form from one form to another. And even Dalton's and Isaac Newton's, like greatest scientists of all time, have been talking that how they have been inspired from the Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita has been source and inspiration not only for spiritual knowledge, even for the science, like scientists, like whatever they have been made, whatever the inventions they are making, whatever knowledge they are getting is all from the Bhagavad Gita.
When something is created and its purpose is already completed, it must be destroyed. We can take example of a child. When a child is born and it lives its whole life, then it must die, and the death is sure. So exactly like how the Lord Brahma has created this whole universe, our Lord Vishnu operates whole universe. Our Lord Shiva, or we call him by various names such as Devo Kedev, Mahadev, Pasupatinath, the god of animals. So he is the one who is responsible for the destruction of whole universe when its time has come. Don't you find it fascinating? A mountain of the size of 8,848 meters has been climbed by more than 4,000 people, but a mountain of size of slightly more than 6,000 meters has never been climbed by any human in the history. I am talking about Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva resides. Only in the history once Ravana tried to climb it by singing the Shiva Tandava, which is said to be one of the most effective Tandavas in the world. The Tibetan and the Chinese texts have claimed that at once upon a time, a saint who was taking his drum climbed the mountain and reached the top of it. So and exactly the same thing is written in our ancient text, that Ravana tried to climb Mount Kailash by singing the Shiva Tandava, but when he reached the top, he was kicked down by it. So this proves that our texts are not mythological, but they are related to each other. Like the Tibetan texts have exactly the same things which are written in our ancient texts.
Okay, like if you can say this was a myth because it is written in text, or means old mythology this is. But according to 21st era, we believe in 21st era. So according to scientists of 21st era, 21st generation, one of the biggest founding by the scientists is God particle, that is Higgs boson. The scientific name is Higgs boson, and it is popularly known as God particle. What God particle exactly is, like, even it is smaller than the proton, neutron, and all the other smaller particles like molecules, atom, everything. It is the smallest particle, and the cosmic radiation that comes out from the Higgs boson or God particle is same in the form of dancing statue of the Shiva, which is known as Natarajan. It is same in the form, its cosmic radiation that comes out, it is same in the form, and the perpetual destruction as well as its finding or its working mechanism, whole cycle is also seen in the form of cosmic dance of Lord Shiva. Coming towards this Shivaling, why we pray Lord Shiva also in the form of Shivaling only. So according to modern science, according to the his or her aura splits out in a different manner, means there is a no proper shape. So when a person sits in a meditation position and slowly gives times to meditation, slowly by slowly, time to time, this aura that comes out starts to become smooth in a parabolic shape. So after a person gains whole lots of meditation and it reaches to the top level of meditation, the aura becomes totally in a parabolic shape or totally smooth, and that's how Shivaling looks. So according to modern science also, it is proved that Shivaling was also made by our ancestors in a whole lot of scientific manner.
So it is taught to us that through meditation we can gain control over body and mind, and we have seen Lord Shiva controlling, like always meditating. So just to prove it, like Lord Shiva is known as the greatest yogi of all time. Like everyone remembers the event of the Samudra Manthan, where poison comes out from it, which is also known as halal. So when the poison was coming out, all the gods went to Lord Shiva and prayed for help. Then Lord Shiva drank that poison. Now through meditation he had gained so control of poison on his throat, and that throat became dark bluish in color. So he is even known as Nilkantha, and so he got his name Nilkantha through that event.
Throughout the history, the West has been trying to suppress our culture by doing various tasks. I will give a very simple example. We know that there is something called Purnima and the solar eclipse. Our Pandit Bajis, and in the today's generation, we make that fun that they're Pandit Bajis and they do not know anything. But that person, the ancient gurus, used to exactly predict at what was the time of the solar eclipse, what was the time of Purnima, with exact persistence. America, which is the richest country in the world, is organization NASA with hundreds of billions of dollars of funding. Up till 1900s, they could not find out what was the distance between even the Earth and the Sun. But our ancient texts, with exact persistence, they could find out everything. I will give a very simple example of the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda gave the exact speed of light in 189,547 miles per second. By when the NASA discovered his telescopes, with exact precision, it was exactly the same.
So another example here is, like I'll read a slok. Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Dhanu Sasi Bhumi Suto Buddhasya Guruscha Sukra Sani Rahu Ketav Kurvantu Sarve Mama Suprabhatam. In this slok there is a word here, Bhumi Suto Buddhasya. This means the son of earth. In this line is originated thousands of years ago, when there was no findings of NASA and everything. And in this line it is already mentioned that there was 9 planets in the solar system, but according to Kepler's, now in the modern era we study that there is a 9 planet according to Kepler's theory of planetary motion. But in this it is clearly mentioned the name of 9 planets, as well as it is mentioned that Bhumi Suto Buddhasya. This means the son of Earth. Already it has been mentioned, and in the recent years when NASA founded that actually when Big Bang happened, a part of Earth is splitted and started to revolve around the sun, and that was none other Mercury. And today that science has come to a conclusion that actually that same Mercury is only the son of the earth, and it was already written in our textbook or in our old Hindu granthas.
Okay, so you might be looking at this peak here, right? So when a person goes for meditation, then there are 7 chakras located in our body, and such chakras can be activated through extreme level of meditation. So like if you remember, in your childhood days we might have watched Shaktiman, right? So if you have watched, then it is shown that like activating these 7 chakras, a person gains spiritual powers. So naming these chakras, this is Muladhara, this is Swadhisthana, this is Navi, this is Anahat, this is Visuddhi, this is Agya, and this is Sahasrara chakra. And these chakras can be activated through extreme level of meditation. And when we activate this chakra in our body, then we can decide. It is said that we can decide the time and place of our death. Even it is said that we can gain telekinesis power through this by activating these chakras. And what is telekinesis power is like through power of our mind we can move objects from here to there. Sounds interesting, but is great. Like such things can be activated by activating these chakras.
We are always mocked by the Western countries that our Indian subcontinent does not have any great architecture. Let me tell you the mystery of Jagannath Puri temple. There is a temple located in the Puri in Jagannath in India. in that temple, that is basic science. If I keep a flag this way, and if the wind is moving in this direction, the flag will go in the same direction of the wind. But at this temple, the flag always moves in the opposite direction of the wind, and it is scientifically proven, and no one could ever prove that how it is happening and what is the phenomenon behind it. If I step inside the temple, it is just beside a sea, but when I go inside the temple, we cannot hear any of the sounds which are being created by the ocean, because it is built by such level of architecture that no one can even with current technology also we cannot do anything about that, how they have done this.
Okay, another example is like Western have a film industry. They have already trolled our Hindu religion or Hindu culture. Like pouring milk on Shivalinga, we see pouring milk on Shivalinga in film industry. It is shown that it is the wastage of milk. But when we come to a scientific region where there are the Shivalingas, the major Shivalingas, 14 Shivalingas, that are the radioactive places. Means those places which can cause cancer to the people if it is left openly. So pouring milk is indirectly making those places radioactive in less amount. Means radioactivity is reduced. So that is the main reason behind it. But our Hindu culture is, through movies or through they are criticized, or they are made in the type of pressure that this should not be done. Pouring milk is wastage of time. Like there are many examples, like Hindu people do sindoor and boys do tikas. This is actually the scientific fact. Our ancestors were very much vast developed in science than present era. Like this is exactly the part of a middle part of a brain where two part of a brain separates, and this part is very much delicate. And putting these sindoors and tikas on this part in the center of the brain, this gives a positive vibes and protection to the fluid present in that, and it's help us to give positive vibes as well as to keep our brain cool and calm. This is scientifically proven right in the today's era.
Everyone standing in this classroom is in Gautam school premises. Gautam school premises is in Sripur area. Sripur area is in this Birgunj city. Birgunj city is in Parsa. Parsa is in province number 2. Province number 2 is in Nepal. Nepal is in the Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent is in the Asia. Asia is in this whole Earth, and the whole Earth is present in the solar system. Solar system is present in our Milky Way galaxy, and the Milky Way galaxy is in the universe. So if you can prove me that where this completely ends and where is this universe, I will accept that our texts are mythologies. But if you cannot prove that, you have to accept that our texts are not mythologies but actual facts which are based upon thousands of years of research.
Yatra Yogesna Yatra Partho Dharandhara Tatra Sri Vijaya Bhuto Dharmo Niti Marmati Marma. This was the slok said by Lord Krishna to Arjun, where he says that among all the creations, I am the beginning, I am the middle, and also I am the end. O Arjun, among all the sciences, I am the science of the self. I am the splendor of the splendid, I am the victory, I am the knowledge, I am the secret. I am all the devouring death, of all the seeing of seed of all the beings, that also I am. In all the creatures, either it be moving or unmoving, that also no object in this world can exist without me. Whatever has happened, whatever is happening, and whatever is going to happen is all me. I am the end. Where he says that nothing is beyond me and nothing is going to be beyond me. And whatever, like at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he clearly mentions that there is no much more for the human beings to know now. And there he ends the world and the universe.